Hi, Jillian. I really enjoyed your presentation. I did want to go ahead and apologize if it appears that I'm reading my response, because I am reading my response. I like to type out my responses to things that I'm analyzing and people that I'm analyzing their presentations and what they've done just works better for me. So I will be reading you the response that I created. I hope that's okay. So first I wanted to talk about how I really appreciated how personal and grounded your presentation was. Hearing you speak not just as a researcher, but as a teacher with nearly 2 decades of experience made the topic feel more real, especially to a new teacher like me. The example of your student's lunchbox was especially impactful. It reminded me that food-related challenges can deeply affect both students and their families, and those struggles often extend far beyond the classroom. I live and work in a poor rural district. Their communities are next to each other. The community that I live in is a food desert. So this is very near and dear to my heart for how it affects my students. Your presentation made me think about how I can better incorporate life skills, especially found around food and independence, into my own instruction. I hadn't really considered using tools like virtual reality or even gamified touchscreens to address food-related selectiveness. But now I'm curious to explore them, although my school doesn't have those kind of tools available for my students. Even though the results didn't show a significant difference between the two interfaces, I'm still intrigued by the idea of using interactive technology to engage students in meaningful real-world skills. One of the key takeaways that I had was how experimental designs can be applied to very specific populations, like students with autism or intellectual disabilities, and still follow those rigorous research methods that we've been taught since forever. I found it especially interesting that both the virtual reality and the touchscreen methods showed similar improvements, suggesting that the mode of delivery may be less important than the content and the adaptability of the intervention, which is better news for my students that don't really have access to virtual reality or touchscreens. We are limited to just the Chromebooks that the school provides. Now, some of those are coming in as touchscreens to the freshmen as we weed out the others, but until that happens, it's very limited. I'm going to have a 9th grade class with touchscreens and a 10th grade class without touchscreens this semester. So it's not a one-size-fits. So knowing that it can be adapted and maybe get the same results is very good for poor schools that can't necessarily afford that kind of technology. And it reminds me that innovation in education doesn't always mean we have to use the flashiest tools. It's about the thoughtful application and how we apply what we know and what we know that we can do to students in the best ways that we possibly can. I really, again, enjoyed your presentation. Thank you for listening to my comments.